Good evening and welcome to News 11. I'm Chloe Kowalik.
And I'm Julia Skiba. We are so excited because this is our very first episode back on News 11. So with that being said, we've got a lot of stories to get into today.
Yeah, let's get right into it. The Shaw family has filed a I can't see the teleprompter. Fatal Lockport Cave incident back in June. I can't see the teleprompter all this way. When a tour boat for the Lockport Caves capsized, he was stuck under the boat for over an hour before emergency responders could get back to him. The claim being filed is against the city of Lockport, Niagara County, and the state of New York, and alleges that there were no safety devices for passengers or inspections on the attraction to ensure its safety. After Shaw's death, state lawmakers proposed legislation that would require state park departments to provide oversight. Governor Hochul has also urged lawmakers to develop new oversight for attractions similar to the Lockport Caves.
Local Buffalo athlete and former NFL player Mike Williams has passed away at age 36. He was hospitalized earlier this month in Tampa, Florida due to a work-related incident and was on life support. According to his family, he died Tuesday morning in Tampa, only days after being taken off a ventilator on September 7th. Williams has been in Buffalo since high school, playing both basketball and football. He then went on to play NFL for 5 seasons, part of his career being a wide receiver for the Bills. He will be remembered in this Buffalo area and as an all-around athlete and local legend.
The attendance policy for football games in the Buffalo Public School District is changing. The games will be invite-only, with each football player and cheerleader having 3 student invites. Any adults attending need to have valid ID, and minors must be accompanied by an adult. These changes are following a series of fights that have broken out at the stadium, resulting in arrests and evacuations. There will be increased security at the gates and live streams for fans at home.
If you think 1 or 2 candles is romantic, then try being surrounded by thousands with a string quartet. Fever's candlelight concerts have entertained people in over 100 cities around the world. The concerts are coming to Buffalo this fall. There will be 3 dates for shows at Forbes Theater. The first performance is on September 17th, and Vilved's 4 Seasons will be played. The second performance is set for October 22nd with spooky themes such as scores from classic Halloween movies and Michael Jackson's Thriller. The orchestra returns for their final performance on November 17th with a tribute to Taylor Swift. Tickets start at $37, and tickets are on sale right now at feverup.com.
The Great Pumpkin Farm in Clarence is opening its doors on September 16th for its 28th annual Fall Festival. The festival will be open every weekend through October 29th from 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. The farm will be collaborating with Clarence citizens for veterans to waive admission fees for active and retired military and police or fire department personnel. The farm says all attractions will be operating, such as a corn maze, hay rides, the Pumpkin and Mum Patch, and more. They will also be selling cookies, pastries, and homemade donuts. Admission is $15 per person. Children 2 and under get in free.
The fall 2023 semester has begun, and students are already trying to find ways to have fun and meet new people. Rosemary Rapadarsa is out with the crowd.
The local Lowdown is hosting its 3rd ever concert at Main Street Studios. This event highlights some local musicians while allowing students to reduce stress and socialize with peers. The local Lowdown is a radio show promoting the Western New York music scene.
When putting together this show, we tried to get some bands that would definitely get people out and also just to de-stress from whatever they have going on.
It's busy tonight at Main Street Studios. About 150 people came to see the local bands.
Cassidy Mullen, a student at SUNY Fredonia, often attends these shows to have fun and unwind.
It's getting to the time of the semester where it's more stressful, so it's pretty nice to be able to come out, see amazing musicians, have fun, socialize with my friends.
The night started off with performances from alumni bands, The Weather Might Say Otherwise, and Del Paxton, which got the crowd excited. Later in the night, Relentless Moisture, a band of current Fredonia students, took the stage. Andrew Springer, the drummer of Relentless Moisture, gave his thoughts on what the music scene means to him.
It feels really good to have that connection with some people you may not know.
The local Lowdown concert provides a much-needed sense of community, as socialization is a vital asset in student lives. Reporting from Fredonia, I'm Rosemary Rapisarda, News 11.
You can learn more about the Local Lowdown on their Instagram page at @thelocallowdown_. This Saturday, 2 high-flying events will be taking place in Buffalo. Mental Health Peer Connection will be holding its annual Kite Festival in Cheektowaga Town Park, 2600 Harlem Road. It will take place from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and for those attending, they will provide free kites to decorate, hot dogs, snacks, and water alongside some fun activities for kids. If Cheektowaga isn't close to home, fret not, because there will be another kite event in Niagara County. Niagara County Youth Bureau and the Niagara County Department of Social Services is hosting the 25th Annual Kids and Kites event. This event will be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 700 Lockport Road. Sign up quick, because the first 500 kids to register receive a free kite, t-shirt, and hot dog lunch.
For the 28th year, the Red, White, and Blues Festival returns to Fredonia to celebrate the region's red and white wine along with blues music around the area.
For the 28th year, the Red, White, and Blues Festival returns to Fredonia to celebrate the region's red and white wine along with the blues music in the area.
I really think it has a really great vibe. There's a lot of people around, and they're really interested in talking to the vendors, so it's been fun.
The owner of Sunset Sky Farm, Lauren Northrup, has been going to the Fredonia Farmers Market for a few weeks, but this is her first time at the Red, White, and Blues Festival.
So we just opened in February. We are an organic winery, so we're one of the first organic wineries around. Have just been working at farmers markets and festivals and talking to people about our product.
Along with wine, there's tons of stands with clothes, music, and much more.
Oh, I like the variety. I love the foods. I love all the vendors. I think it's nice to have a different options, basically.
Some of the stands include Stitch It by Mona, which has a variety of different knitted clothing, as well as Crafty Jean, that has a ton of different knickknacks.
On top of the red and white wine, there's tons of food vendors here, such as Stephen Al's Steakout.
We just love it out here. People are great, town is great. It's a great atmosphere, great environment, and these festivals are great for the community.
The company is based out of Rochester and has been traveling all across the Northeast region since the early 1930s.
And this is one of the best Philly cheesesteaks I've had, and I'm like, these guys are good, so.
After drinking some red and white wine, time to head down to the gazebo and sing the blues.
At 3 p.m., everyone rushes to the gazebo to watch the main event, Tommy Z. On top of Tommy Z, there were the Jammin' Gypsies at Cochran's and That 80s Hair Band at Val's. Mitchell Harusi, News 11.
You can learn more about the event at the Fredonia Red, White, and Blues Festival Facebook page. The New York State Department of Education is planning on making some changes. With the influx of asylum seekers in the Amherst area, schools are noticing a sharp increase in the number of immigrant children attending. According to the Cheektowaga Town Supervisor, over 220 asylum seekers were moving to Amherst, including roughly 50 children. In response, the Department of Education is planning to amend requirements for educators for more flexibility to obtain supplementary certificates and bilingual extensions. The aim is to provide more support for students where English is not their first language.
The Department of Motor Vehicles is trying to get dangerous drivers off the road. To do so, the DMV is hoping to increase the number of points associated with dangerous driving, increasing the likelihood of dangerous drivers losing their licenses and increasing regulations for drunk drivers. The public has mixed feelings about the new legislation. Some believe that the punishments for dangerous driving are too extreme. Others, however, are hoping that the new regulations will decrease the amount of crashes and accidents in New York State. Mark Schroeder, the commissioner of the New York State DMV, said, quote, "The message is simple. If your actions behind the wheel put others in danger, you don't belong in the driver's seat," end quote. And when we get back, we'll get back with your national stories, including an update on Hurricane Ian. We'll be right back.
To Sofia and Gabriel, mis flores, my little flowers. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love, so you can take me with you wherever you go, near or far. These stitches and threads join us together. Me, your mother, and both of you. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you. as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the Sisterhood of Women in Tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Alert level on the Hawaiian volcano, Kilauea, was downgraded on Monday, with there being no threat of infrastructure damage and no threat of significant ash emission. Kilauea is one of the world's most active volcanoes and is the second largest in the state. The downgrade came one day after the volcano began erupting again. Kilauea was erupting for several weeks back in June, where fountains of red lava were flowing, without causing threat to nearby communities or structures. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory said that they, quote, do not see any indication of activity migrating elsewhere on the island and expect the eruption to remain confined to the summit region, end quote.
The book bans in Florida are reaching higher numbers. Last year, Florida school districts removed roughly 300 books from classrooms. Dozens of those books focus on the LGBTQ community or similar topics. The book bans were a result of thousands of parents complaining about the content. Some of the censored books include Toni Morrison's Beloved and a book titled All Boys Aren't Blue. Out of Florida's 67 counties, school districts in 21 counties removed books in the last school year, with 5 districts removing more than 10 books. Clay County in the northeastern part of the state banned the most titles with 177 removals. Many of the school districts who removed books did so if compliance with Florida's Don't Say Gay law.
A group of voters sued Donald Trump, the former president, on Tuesday to kick him off the 2024 ballot in Minnesota. They believe he broke his oath that every president takes when they enter office. The lawsuit says, quote, Donald J. Trump, through his words and actions, after swearing an oath as an officer of the United States to support the Constitution, engaged in insurrection or rebellion, or gave aid to its enemies, as defined by Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. It is the second lawsuit that was filed just this month. When asked about it, Trump called the efforts, quote, nonsense and election interference.
Governor Kathy Hochul stated this week in preparation for Hurricane Lee, quote, out of an abundance of caution, I have deployed the National Guard and directed state agencies to prepare emergency response assets and be ready to respond to local requests for assistance, end quote. Hochul has deployed 50 soldiers to help assist those on Long Island as Hurricane Lee makes his way up north. As of Tuesday morning, the hurricane was located north of Puerto Rico and east of the Bahamas as a Category 3 hurricane with sustained winds approaching 115 miles per hour. Hurricane Lee is predicted to dodge direct impact of New York, but the city may still experience its effects, such as torrential rainfall, high surf, rip currents, coastal flooding, and beach erosion. Although the effects don't seem to be too intense for New York, Hochul is still urging New Yorkers to take precautions and to be prepared in the case that hurricane changes its course, Hochul says. Quote, New Yorkers in coastal areas should watch the forecast and be ready to act if necessary to stay safe, end quote.
Schools are beginning to feel the effects of harsh budget cuts ordered by New York City Mayor Eric Adams. These budget cuts will be used to pay for asylum seekers. Up to 15% of school budgets will be cut. 1/3 of the city's budget, $37 million, goes to schools, so the first round cut of 5% could be nearly $2 billion. Chancellor David Banks said that the Biden administration has not done enough to help NYC. According to New York Governor Kathy Hochul, the asylum seekers include mostly children. And when we come back, Jenna Polito joins us for our sports update, and a new weather anchor is joining News 11. We'll be right back.
When you think of the local lowdown, what do you think of?
Well, when I think of the local lowdown, it's the live music that we have played in the studio.
It's gotta be the laughs we shared. The memorable moments during the whole thing. Oh my God, so fun.
The local lowdown for me is the people behind the scenes, the amazing team that we have making the show.
Oh, it's gotta be exploring all sorts of genres and music I've never heard before.
Oh, easy. Going out to shows and talking to artists and getting the latest news on what they have planned for the future.
It's about these artists, man. Giving them a platform to showcase what they've worked so hard on and show their music to the community. It's all about supporting the local scene of music to keep it running for years to come.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Care. I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We are now joined by Jenna Polito, who will be giving us our weekly sports update. What's going on in sports, Jenna?
In local sports this week, women's tennis claimed a 7-2 win over the Houghton College Highlanders. This Monday, the Devils won numbers 1 through 5 singles and numbers 2 and 3 doubles. Both losses went to tiebreakers. On Saturday, the team is headed to Grove City College looking for a win over the Wolverines. On Saturday, the women's volleyball team had a devastating loss against Westminster College. The final score for the night was 0-3, with Kylie O'Brien leading with 10 kills and Molly Cassidy with 13 assists. They will be traveling to Allegheny on Friday looking for redemption. The Fredonia women's soccer team played a tie game on Tuesday at home against the Alfred University Saxons. After trailing much of the game, sophomore Talia DeFay scored in the 75th minute to tie the game at 1. The team is headed to Hilbert today to play the Hawks. We have a chance to talk to Bree Grayson last Friday after their 4-2 win against Washington and Jefferson.
I think overall we did good. I think there's obviously our ups and downs. We could work on some moving off the ball and passing, stringing more passes together. But I think that if someone did that, we fixed it and we moved forward. So I think we did good. Coming from a rough season last year, I think our goal was just to get some goals. We were struggling with that last year. We got a lot of new players that came in. It was 15 new girls. So I think our expectations were just to win and get some goals.
Heading over to men's sports, the men's soccer team hosted the St. Vincent College Bearcats on Tuesday, and Brian Taylor scored the Blue Devils' first goal just 51 seconds into the match, setting the tone for a 7-2 victory. The team will be playing their next match on Friday at home against Pitt Bradford. The cross-country team had a meet last Saturday, September 9th, at Brockport. The women finished 6 out of 6 teams. Arden Brown placed 26 overall at 21 minutes and 7 seconds, the highest placement of the team. As for the guys, the men's team came in 3rd out of 6 teams in their gender. Josh Walter was the top finisher for Fredonia, coming in 6th overall at 16 minutes and 7 seconds. The next meet is September 30th at Fredonia. The Buffalo Bills played their first regular season game on Monday, facing the New York Jets at home in MetLife Stadium. The first half looked strong, gaining both a field goal and a touchdown thanks to a pass from Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs. After a nail-biting second half and the Jets coming into the lead, Tyler Bass was able to kick a 50-yard field goal with less than 2 minutes left, sending the game to overtime. Ultimately, things did not go as planned, with Jets wide receiver Xavier Gibson completing a 65-yard punt return to the end zone, making the final score 22-16. The Bills will be back this Sunday on home turf to face the Las Vegas Raiders.
And now we are joined by Sam. This is actually Sam's first weather forecast on News 11. How's the weather, Sam?
Thank you, Jules. For tonight, temperatures will be around 50 degrees with clear skies. Getting into our beautiful Friday weather, temperature will be around 50 to 70 degrees with a slight breeze, around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and clear skies. The evening temperatures drop down to 50 degrees with partly cloudy skies and light winds.
Thank you so much, Sam, and we'll see you soon for your next forecast when we come back. We have your international headlines, and we'll be back soon.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. 'Cause when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward
come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un met with Russian leader Vladimir Putin. The two leaders held a summit once they met. According to ABC News, Kim took a bulletproof train to get to the meeting. Kim has rarely left North Korea since he took power in 2011. His most recently documented international trips were in 2019, a year in which he stepped over the border to visit with then-President Donald Trump and traveled via train to Russia. U.S. officials said discussions have advanced between the two countries about a possible plan for North Korea to supply weapons to Russia.
An estimated 5,200 people are believed to have died in floods across eastern Libya, said the Ministry of Interior on Tuesday. Another 10,000 people are believed to be missing, says Tamron Ramadan. In just the city of Derna, 700 people have been confirmed dead. Derna is also the city that has been hit the hardest by the unprecedented floods. A quarter of the city has been wiped out and declared a disaster zone. Rescue and relief efforts were sent out on Tuesday to assist those affected by the flooding.
A NASA astronaut has broke the record for the longest space flight. Frank Rubio of Miami surpassed the United States record of 355 days on Monday. Rubio was sent up with two Russians to an outpost last September for a routine 6-month stay. But their stay was doubled when the Soyuz capsule developed a coolant leak while parked next to the space station. The trio will return to Earth on September 27th in a replacement capsule sent up to them. By then, Rubio will have spent 371 days in space, which is almost more than 2 weeks longer than the previous record in the United States.
At least 2,900 people have been confirmed dead following a devastating 6.8 magnitude earthquake that shook the African nation of Morocco late Friday evening. A number of small communities surrounding Morocco's fourth largest city of Marrakesh were completely destroyed in the disaster. Despite criticism for a slow response, international aid from several countries is on the ground assessing the damage, although the North African nation has limited where crews may come from. Nearly a week after the quake, rescues continue to search for any victims who could still be alive. International partners are putting more pressure on the country's government to accept more assistance in dealing with the aftermath. Now, when we come back, your trending stories, and Sam joins us for your weekend weather. We'll be right back.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
MTV's VMAs wrapped late Tuesday night with 4 hours full of performance and record-breaking wins. Taylor Swift was among the record-breaking wins, taking home 9 awards to tie the record. Her wins include Artist of the Year, Show of the Summer, Best Direction, Album of the Year with Midnight's Along, Best Direction, Song of the Year, Best Pop, Best Visual Effects, and Best Cinematography.
Olivia Rodrigo is taking her talents on tour. The 20-year-old Grammy winner made the announcement Wednesday, just hours after her VMA performance on MTV. The 2024 Guts World Tour will kick off February 23rd in California and goes through August with 57 stops across the United States, Europe, and Canada. Rodrigo's Guts album was released last week, which is a follow-up to her 4-time platinum debut album, Sour. For tickets to Rodrigo's North American shows, fans are being asked to register ahead of time to prevent scalpers. Rodrigo also says she's planning to add more dates to the tour.
The Writers Guild of America is not happy with Drew Barrymore's decision to resume production on her talk show during the writer's strike. More than 11,000 television and film writers remain on strike. The Guild announced it would be picketing Barrymore's New York-based daytime talk show in a statement on Instagram. Over the weekend, Barrymore explained her position on bringing her show back. She wrote that the show, quote, may have my name on it, but this is bigger than just me, end quote. She added, quote, our talk show actually wrapped on April 20th, so we never had time to shut down the show, end quote. A spokesperson for CBS Media Ventures, which produces the show, says the show, quote, will not be performing any writing work covered by the WGA strike, end quote. The Drew Barrymore show is set to return on September 18th. I wanted to talk about Olivia Rodrigo really quick because I am so excited for the album. I don't know if I would. Maybe I'll try and get tickets for.
I was gonna ask if you were
I'm wondering if it's gonna be like a Taylor Swift situation where
Ticketmaster and it's a whole mess.
Yeah, I don't know. But did you listen to both albums?
I listened to Sour.
Okay.
So like I know like what the vibe is gonna be for the next one. So I'm excited. I'd say.
Yeah, it's great. It's very exciting.
Right. So we're now gonna toss it to Sam one more time tonight for the weekend weather. Sam, how's it looking for the end of the week?
Getting right into our weekend weather, if you have any last-minute outside work, you're going to want to get that done on Saturday. With clear sunny skies and a temperature of 70 degrees all day, dropping to around 55 degrees at night with a partly cloudy sky. Sunday brings the rain in the afternoon with temperatures around 65 degrees and cloudy skies with winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour. In the evening, temps drop to 57 degrees with overcast rain showers. We'll be starting our week off next week on Monday with some showers in the morning and temperatures right around 65 degrees. In the afternoon and the evening, however, the rain should clear up and we'll end our day with temps sitting around 55 degrees.
All right, well, thank you so much, Sam. That does it for News 11. Thank you so much to our behind-the-scenes crew. We'll be back next Thursday.
And of course, thank you to everyone watching at home. Have a great night.